As we reach week number 3 of the high school season, it's a battle of Millard between South and North. On Friday the 13th, both of these teams hope for good luck on the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another week of high school football. I'm John Schreiner. I'm Gary Sharp. Tonight, the number 2 team in the state quest to win a state title in Millard South. That dominating running game now goes up against Millard North defense that has run through the gauntlet of schedule in the first 2 weeks.
Well, you said it. It's been a gauntlet schedule for Millard North, facing their third-ranked team to start the season. They were trying to have a turnaround after a poor year last year. And Millard North, they have just been chewing up opposing defenses. Isaiah Harris and TJ Urban, the quarterback, have been magnificent running the ball.
Harris was a 1,000-yard rusher last year. He's well on his way to doing that again this year through 2 weeks.
Yeah, Isaiah Harris, I mean, he's big, he's fast, he's a physical running back. 277 yards and 5 touchdowns through the first 3 games this season. Keep your eye on 22. He's going to find the end zone tonight.
Well, keep your eye on number 40 for Millard North, because I'm sure that him and Mr. Harris will meet many a times. The latest North Dakota recruit, Mason Kelly.
Yeah, Mason Kelly, another in a long line of really good linebackers to come out of the Millard North program. Another kid who's just big and physical, has a nose for the ball. You're going to see him involved in a lot of tackles tonight in that middle linebacker spot.
It's South, it's North. In the middle, Buell Stadium. Kickoff is next. On the Game Time Game of the Week on YurView.
Game Time high school football action on YurView is presented by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Connect online with Iowa Western at iwcc.edu or call 800-432-5852. High school football fans, for more behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, interviews, and more, be sure to check out YurView.com all fall long. Okay, player of the game.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Welcome back to Buell Stadium on an absolutely beautiful night of football on Friday the 13th. I'm Schreiner. I'm Gary Sharp. Millard South, ranked number 2 in the state. They're 2-0. Millard North is 0-2. John, let's take a look at some of the keys to tonight's game, brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family.
Yeah, first up for Millard South. Strike first. This Millard North offense not built to play from behind. This is not in their DNA. They would rather protect the lead result to walk away and try to come back. Millard South coming up a couple of scores early. The chances of winning increase greatly. And on defense, ball. Some Millard North teams had a bit of trouble with turnovers this season. Punch the ball. Whip at it. Go for the ball on the tackle. You might be rewarded for your risk. On the other side for Millard North, I think that the biggest key for them is definitely going to be ball handling. These 2 quarterbacks, you're going to see both of them tonight. It's not just about protecting the ball and avoiding fumbles. You have to make the right decisions on that option to give, keep, or pitch. It's critical for this offense that the quarterbacks have good ball handling tonight. And on defense, 007. Somebody better stop TJ Urban, because he is very, very good with his legs. Over a 1,000-yard rusher last year. Said that one of his goals for this year is to be over 1,000 yards in the ground again. One of his backers for Millard North has to stay home and watch what TJ Urban's doing.
Those are the keys for tonight's game, brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Set for kickoff, week number 3 of 9 in the regular season. Millard North won the toss. They have deferred, so Tyson Todd will kick off, and you have to be careful here. Because two of the fastest in the Metro are back deep for the Patriots, Andrell Taylor and Isaiah Harris. Harris, who spotlighted in the open, 277 yards rushing and 5 scores in just the first 2 weeks of the season. One of an offense that has scored 94 points against Gretna and biased the 10. A lot of buzz in the air for the North versus South rivalry. And we are underway. As Todd kicks it near sideline and off bounce. And that's how we start in week number 3. Millard South won 53-7 against Gretna, 41-3 against Pius Northwest shutout on game time opening night, 30-0 against Millard West, lost last week 42-14 to Elkhorn South.
And that Elkhorn South score is a little bit deceiving. They took over inside the 35-yard line 3 times in the first quarter alone. All 3 ended up in the end zone touchdowns for Elkhorn South. From that point on, it was a 14-7 game.
First snap of the game is from the 35-yard line. TJ Urban hands it off to Harris, and there he goes. Big playability offense, and now he's in the open. Cuts it back, and he's hauled down after a pickup of 45 yards to begin the game.
This is just, it's one of the most simple running plays in the spread offense. It's the power sweep to the tailback. He just gets to the outside and burns everybody down the sideline.
Play with tempo, they go fast. Harris goes faster, and he finds a seam, steps through the seam, and is inside of the 10. That's a pick of 13. 2 carries, 58 yards for Isaiah Harris. First team All-State last year.
Yeah, pick him up right where he left off the first 2 games. Isaiah Harris averaging 10.3 yards per carry coming into this one. And so what?
After the Tyson Todd kickoff to begin the game went out of bounds, started at the 35. All of a sudden, Millard South is at the 7-yard line. Took 2 plays to get there. And the keep here at Urban is hauled down. Easton Sixel. 3.5 tackles for losses now. He hauls him down. That's a big defensive play. That is a loss of 6. This Millard North defense trying to help out an offense. He's only scored 14 points.
It was a tough read for the quarterback because he's supposed to read that end on give or keep, but there was nobody there. The play was taken away and the end was coming on the blitz.
Miscommunication to the backfield. Harris going to get maybe a yard. I do apologize for some of the audio difficulties that we are encountering here at the beginning of the game. We are working on those. We appreciate your patience. The carry by Harris is just for a yard. Now it is 3rd down and goal at the 13-yard line. Harris's first 2 carries went for 58. The 2 good defensive stands by Millard North has forced the 3rd down and the end zone.
I know it's early, Gary, but this feels like a huge play for this defense. If they can somehow keep Millard South out of the end zone, they would have to go down as a victory.
Urban to put it up. Now he's chased out of the pocket by Sixel. Escapes it, tosses it over the head of Harris. And Millard North holds, and they will force a field goal attempt.
That's big. You give up a huge play on the first play from scrimmage, and then another big run on Harris's second carry, but bowed their necks, stood up inside the red zone, and now there'll be a field goal attempt upcoming.
At 11, big on the opening drive, especially Easton Sixel. This will be a 30-yard field goal. And the field goal is up, and it is good off of the right foot of the junior, Cole Lamel. You would consider that a victory for Millard North, especially after the first 2 carries by Isaiah Harris. Results in the Lamel 30-yard field goal, and Millard South is on the board to begin the game. Millard North didn't score opening week, fell behind 21-0 last week before they scored their 2 touchdowns, then didn't score in the second half. So Fred Petito, I thought his defense bowed up once Millard South got inside of the 10-yard line. Now we're going to get a look. We were with you in opening week here, Millard West and Millard North. We talked about the 2 quarterbacks. That hasn't changed. Fred Petito told us before the game, he's going to look at the head coach of Millard North. He's going to play both quarterbacks. One will play in the first quarter, the next will play in the second quarter. We expect the starter to be Brandon Lundquist and then Ben Wendell to play in the second quarter. They will need both of them, and they will need to rely on that big offensive line that has 4 starters over 300 pounds.
Well, those guys have got to be much better than they have been in the first 2 weeks, Gary. When the quarterback and fullback, the 2 central figures of this triple option offense, are averaging 1 yard per carry and 3 yards per carry respectively, everything's going wrong for Millard North. The offensive line just simply has to be better.
Cole Hamill, considered one of the better kickers in the Metro, had a good summer in camps around the area. Boots this one in the end zone. And out comes Todd. And he spins away from a tackle, and he's free to the 40. Lammel is the last resort, and he trips up Todd as he brings the return back inside of Millard South territory.
You know what? That is just the kind of spark that Millard North needs to start this game.
Good vision by Todd right there. Ran into Taylor, who is one of the top wrestlers in the state of Nebraska. Broke away from him and brought the ball to the 47-yard line of Millard South. Great start for Millard North. Now we can see on this offense what they are going to be able to do with a good field position. Lundquist hands it off to Bednar, and he's going nowhere. Right into the hands of Jack Nicholson.
And Bednar's just found it tough sledding to start this season. 20 carries, only 60 yards on the year. That is just unbelievable for a Millard North fullback to not be more successful. I mean, that is the bread and butter of this offense. Is that big fella running between the tackles. They just found no success so far.
That's a big front four for Millard North. Toss play outside, good. Room for Gabriel Terry. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. There are flags down as finally Terry is down at the 39-yard line. Got to be close to a first down. We'll see what the flags are for. They were thrown during the course of the run on the toss to Terry as part of the triple option, and that is going to be a hold on Millard North. They were their own worst enemy when we saw them opening week. They were penalized 15 times. They turned the ball over 5 times in the first 2 weeks. I think Fred Petito knew his team was young last year. They took their lumps in a year that didn't see them in the postseason. I think he's a little bit surprised by some of the mistakes that they've made through the first 2 weeks. That was a point of emphasis all week long leading up to this rivalry game.
Yeah, as you said, that they were young last year, and it didn't, expect maybe the highest of highs, but it's just been uncharacteristic of a veteran team, especially under Fred's leadership, that they've had so many of those mistakes.
Brandon Lundquist starts at quarterback. He's a sophomore, and he'll put it up. Wide open, wide receiver. It is caught. Noah Cannell was beyond the defense as the ball hung in the air. He slowed down, and right into the breadbasket, he catches it. He goes down at the 17. That's a pickup at 33.
Well, I think of the 2 quarterbacks, Lundquist is a little better passer. And you see it right there. Cannell had to lay out to get that one. But, oh boy, if this Millard North offense can mix in a little bit of that passing, they're going to surprise some folks because everyone's going to load up to stop the run against this team.
Last week against Elkhorn South, Lundquist threw for 136 yards. He's now 6 of 12. Momentum continues for Millard North. 3-0 Patriots. Mustangs on the move. The toss to Sixel. Can he get outside? There's going to be a penalty flag galore. It'll be on Millard North as Sixel launches himself into the end zone. But as he was racing down the far sideline, you saw in your picture a block at the back. One flag, there's 2 flags, there's 3 flags. And now judge and jury are official for tonight. Was holding once, twice.
Yeah, it was the entire right side of the offensive line that really committed those penalties, and it allowed Sixel to get to the outside. So they were holding penalties that definitely affected the course of the play. Sometimes you get those ones that coaches complain about. Oh, it's on the backside of the play. It didn't affect anything, but those were on the play side and definitely impeded the progress of those South defenders.
And we saw a little bit of a momentum changing penalty called on Millard North that took a touchdown off the board in week 1. There was a touchdown there. Now it's first down and 20 back at the 28. Lundquist runs the triple option, and that's a tight pitch, and that's going nowhere.
Yeah, it's a bad pitch relationship for Cannell. It is incumbent on the running back in that situation to dictate the distance for the pitch relationship. The quarterback may have to bubble, and when he does that, when the line gets pushed back a little bit, running back's got to read it, and he's got to bubble his route a little deeper as well.
Millard South defense has only allowed 1 touchdown in the first 2 weeks. Talked plenty tonight about Cole Herbolsheimer. You can't miss him. He blocks out the sun. Actually, the sun going down when he takes the field, and Lundquist, a little bit too anxious, fired a dart over the head of Ellis, who was open. Now to bring up 3rd down and 22. Game started with 2 long runs from Isaiah Harris. Millard South got all the way inside of the 10-yard line, but then Millard North defense held, forced a field goal. Long kickoff return, long pass, good field position. But now the Mustangs are going the wrong way. They face 3rd down and 22. 2 wide receivers to the top of your screen. Lundquist, one of the 2 sophomores that starts at quarterback. That's not an easy position to play in this offense. And another flag. That's the 3rd flag on this drive. Again, 15 penalties opening week. And Fred Petito puts his hands on his waist, paces back and forth, and sends in Jadis Ellis with a 3rd down and 27 play there. Fred Petito's long career, 37 years as the head coach at Millard North, 39 in the business. I don't know in his playbook he has a 3rd down and 27.
And Millard South, look at those DBs. They're playing way off.
Bednar lone setback. Lundquist to toss it deep down the field into double coverage. Ellis, boy, he cut through the 2 defenders as the ball lands harmlessly in the end zone. Now Millard North will have to punt the ball.
Yeah, Millard South knew exactly what was happening right there. They put double coverage on Jadis Ellis, the strong safety and the corner, both converging on that play. Ellis, the most dangerous threat in the passing game, knew exactly what was coming.
Coming into tonight, Millard North quarterbacks in 2 weeks have completed 9 passes, 6 of them to the speedy senior Jadis Ellis. Blake Klossman is on to punt. Klossman this year, 6 punts, 28 yards per punt. Trying to hit the corner. And it will bounce and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. So both teams have had the ball once. Millard South 3, Millard North nothing. It's another night of Game Time, Game of the Week on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. For more high school action, be sure to check out YurView.com.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda today, where we make your Mazda buying process easy. Come in and take a look at our selection of all-new Mazda CX-5s. The all-new Mazda CX-5 comes equipped with premium features that let you stay focused on the road and get you ready for your next adventure. Stop by our showrooms at 66th and Elm or our new location at 144th and Giles for your test drive today, and find your new Mazda CX-5 for your next adventure. Delivering selection, service, and confidence. This is Woodhouse Mazda, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Back at Buell Stadium on Friday the 13th. These teams hoping for good luck. Superstitious, John?
As Michael Scott would say, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Glad to have you along for another night of high school football. Game Time high school football on YurView. presented by our good friends at Iowa Western. We'll hear from the president of Iowa Western, Dr. Kinney, coming up at halftime. A lot of exciting things going on the campus at Iowa Western. Both of these teams have had the ball once. Millard South was held to a field goal. Millard North got into the red zone, but then penalties derailed any momentum, and they were forced to punt. Rivalry game, non-district. 3 high schools in Millard: Millard West, Millard South, Millard North. This stadium, shared by all 3, is actually on the Millard South campus.
But they are not the home team. Makes it weird.
This is a hot ticket. There are some that have brought lawn chairs and are sitting on the hill outside of the stadium watching this showdown between North and South. Millard South has won one play. Harris was held to a yard. Now Urban changed the play at the line of scrimmage, and he keeps it. And he's got room to run, and he can run. Across midfield, dancing left, dancing right, finally hauled down. That is a pickup of 41 on a great read by T.J. Urban.
Showing you the 4.6 speed. He ran that at the camp this summer. And T.J. Urban made the rounds. He went to a bunch of different camps this year. He was at Notre Dame. He was at Iowa State. All over the Midwest. That's one of the reasons he's getting attention.
There's a great story on TJ done by John up on YurView.com every week. Profile story on a player of that week's game of the week. This week, TJ Urban, great insight from John at YurView.com. Another short gain for Harris brings up second down and about 8. Clock running. Under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. 3-0. Millard South leads Millard North. Millard South 2-0. They are ranked number 2 in the state, according to the Omaha World Herald, behind Bellevue West. One of 12 teams in Class A that are unbeaten through the first 2 weeks of the regular season. Harris in the sidecar, and Urban keeps it again. And another good read, because if he would have handed it off to Harris, Kelly would have planted Harris back at the 40. And it'll be 3rd down and about 5. After the long run by Urban, now Millard North settles back in. This is what they did on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, Millard North is making it tough because Easton Sixel is coming off the edge really quickly. And that zone read, Sixel's in the backfield, it makes the read very tough to see.
Third down and 5 from the 32. Urban keeps it again. He's got a first down. Great vision. He protects the football. That's a pickup of 7. They only needed 5. T.J. Urban last year, 115 yards rushing, 13 scores.
Again, we're going to see Sixel get way up the field. Look at him right there. He tries to kind of feather it and play in between the 2 options. And Urban takes off the other way.
So the drive continues with the Patriots at the field goal. Harris in the sidecar to the right. Urban pulling out. Eludes one tackler. Fires it downfield. Picked up by Klossman. There is a flag down as Urban goes down. Klossman with another interception. 3rd of the year. He brings it back to the 42, but let's check the flag. Rolling out. Urban, after he floated the ball down the field, was knocked hard to the ground. And the penalty is on Millard North.
Yeah, it's going to be rough for the pass. Just a late hit from Sixel. Sixel was beaten by Urban to the corner, and then after the ball was released, planting.
Fred Petito pleads his case. That flag came immediately. A 67-year-old native of the south side of Chicago who wanted to be a Chicago Cub, found his way into coaching. Vehemently upset, as you see when you're screening. Waving his arms. Didn't like that call, and another penalty goes against Millard North to take a Klossman interception off the board. New life for Millard South. And the penalty moves the ball all the way to the 12-yard line as you kind of look at it. Floater by Urban. The flag going down. Urban going down. Now Millard South driving up a field goal. And another penalty on Millard North. They had 3 on their opening drive. Here's Urban again. Flag goes down. Urban goes down. This is an area of holding. This would be the first flag of the night that goes against the Patriots. And that's exactly what it is. Last year, Millard South went 9-2. They're trying to start 3-0 for the first time since 2010.
Yeah, it's already. Last year was their first 2-0 start since 2010. And now, it seems weird to say, as much success as this program had in the early and mid-2000s, that 2010 is the last time they started 3-0.
South won the state title in 2009. Last year in this game, Patriots beat the Mustangs 35-10. First look at Antrell Taylor. It's a pickup of 8. And they're in second round. We talk a lot about Isaiah Harris. Antrell Taylor has had a good start to the season. 187 yards receiving. And he leads with so much offensive weaponry with Harris and Urban, and then a young man who had 50-3 last winter, Wrestler, joins the team and can be in the slot, can be in the backfield. Harris is in the backfield here with Urban, and Urban keeps it once again, and he keeps the legs a-churning inside of the 5. It took 3 Mustangs to bring down T.J. Urban at 6 foot, 190 pounds.
Well, Urban is just one of the many in a line of the embarrassment of riches that Andy Means has at the skill positions right now. I mean, we haven't even mentioned that Chase Burchill, their top receiver, is out for this game with an injury. And Tyson Curtis, the D1 baseball prospect, is another wide receiver on this team.
Harris, touchdown. Lead handoff, and Harris scoots into the end zone from 4 yards out. Isaiah Harris with his 6th rushing touchdown in 2 full games and almost a full quarter.
So you're saying he's pretty good?
He's going to get some attention. Lammel in for the PAT. And it is 10-0. A roughing the passer call against Millard North took an interception off the board, and Millard South turns it into a touchdown. As we get a look at this touchdown run by Isaiah Harris.
He just beats everyone to the corner, Gary. I mean, he gets through the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers are just not fast enough to keep up with him.
Millard South last year, as I mentioned, they went 9-2. They lost in the quarterfinal to Grand Island. What really stuck with this program through the offseason is that their 2 losses in the regular season to Millard West and in the playoffs to Grand Island, they led both games by double figures. So their goal is strictly to win state. They're off to a 2-0 start and off to a 10-0 lead with 2:39 to go in the first quarter from Buell Stadium on this Friday the 13th.
Now, I was conducting the interviews for that TJ Irvine story, and one of the things that struck me that Andy Means said is, if you're in athletics and your goal is not to win the championship, I don't know what you're doing.
Andy Means,
it's a strong statement.
Andy Means, who knows a lot about winning, now in his 16th year as the head coach here at Millard South. Played for Tom Osborne at Nebraska, defensive back. There is a lot of his former head coach in him. Lammel, line drive kickoff, and a touchback. If you go back to that long opening kickoff return by Tyson Todd, could have sworn that he was in the end zone, which is an automatic touchback in high school.
I think he was, but I'm not sure about the ball. And the official was right there looking at it and said, no, it's good.
So this is what is in front of Millard North. Down 10-0. They've been their own worst enemy. but they have had some success on offense on plays that don't result with a piece of laundry sitting on the field turf in the Omaha suburb of Millard. Brandon Lundquist at quarterback. They'll play 2 quarterbacks tonight. And Lundquist keeps it. And with 5 Patriots riding him, he is able to get about 3 yards.
Listen, it's going to be really tough to run inside against this Millard South defense. And you've got Brendan Anderson, who's a junior in his 2nd year starting, Cole Herbolsheimer, and then the 2 big fellas at 240 and 255, Mayville and Nicholson on the inside.
No worries, Fred. Fred bumped into our sideline camera. 37 years at Millard North, 39 in the business. A couple of years at Omaha Cathedral, which no longer exists. Bednar, and he is hogtied by a host of Patriots. One thing that Andy Means points out about this defense, and especially for all of our viewers tonight, watch how many red helmets are in your screen.
Yeah, they're aggressive and athletic. And, you know, this isn't a young team anymore. This is a veteran team now for Millard South. They know what they're doing.
So 3rd down and 5, 90 seconds to go in the first quarter. That's an offensive line for Millard North that has 4 starters that are 300 pounds or more. Lundquist under center. He needs 5. Runs the option. Keeps the ball. He's going to be about a yard short as he lowered his head and plowed right into outside linebacker Jake Gassaway, who's a sophomore. So one sophomore to another. And at 4th down and 1, as we go under a minute to go, Fred Petito thought about it for a moment. Now he'll send out Blake Klussman as punter.
I mean, you're on your own 30. You're already down 10. You've just got to play the game at this point. It's not desperation time yet. You don't have to go for this.
Low snap. Whistle before the snap. And a delay of game on Millard North.
Now, I was worried about that when they took so long to make that decision to punt. So now Millard South is going to end up with great field position.
34 seconds to go in the first quarter, John. 5 penalties, 34 yards on Millard North.
It's a bad start.
Deep men for the Patriots are back at their own 40. Klossman will catch the snap at his 11. Steps into it. Left foot. Good punt. Taylor gets away from it and watches it roll out of bounds. They will mark it at the 38-yard line. So 34 seconds to go in this explosive Millard South offense that they can work with. Nearing the end of the first quarter, 10-0. Millard South leading Millard North. Game time high school football on YurView. Next week, Omaha Central and Omaha Bryant. We'll see Millard South later in the season. And they have a district showdown against Creighton Prep. TJ Urban with Isaiah Harris in the backfield. Urban to throw. Pass caught by Taylor. Zigzag, stiff arms inside of the Millard North 50. And then he is buckled down at the 43. That's a pickup of 19. Just an easy pitch and catch.
And this is what Taylor's been doing on the season. You said it, 187 yards, but that's on only 6 catches. He's been averaging over 30 yards a catch throughout the first 2 games of the season, and you don't get that without some ability to run after the catch.
Andy Means calls that young man right there special. When Andy Means attaches special to one of his players, you know that they are a key component to Patriot football. Urban to throw it deep. And it is incomplete as he was looking for Tyson Gertis. John just mentioned. Stops the clock. 2nd down and 10. Couldn't ask for better weather tonight in week 3, middle of September. There's even a little chill in the air this morning. Fred Petito said he got out for his run. He runs about 2.5 to 4 miles every day. Said he had to put on a jacket. Inside toss to Taylor. Taylor will get about a pickup of 3 before Tyler Runnels was there to haul him down. And that should be the final play of the first quarter.
That's a chance to start over a little bit for the Millard North bunch. The game has not begun the way they would have wanted, much the way it did on week number 1 with all those penalties. Got to clean it up.
Millard South is driving when you return. 1 quarter in the books from Buell Stadium. Millard South 10, Millard North nothing. It's game time on YurView.
We'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our Millard North varsity cheerleaders. Seniors, Shannon C., Grace Bishop, Allison Hauser.
Oh, not getting into college with this score.
I'm that score. The reason they're stressed, he's not getting into her dream college.
Another practice test.
Doesn't matter. I'll never be ready.
Ready? It's only the biggest test of her life.
When test prep stress takes over, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results.
I got it.
Reject the stress. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.
Smart is selling your home with FSBO Homes. The Home Transparency Report helped me sell my home faster and at a fair price. Buyers walked through my home online using the 3D virtual open house. So I had fewer private showings. And I accepted an offer with the tap of a finger. Let's make this sale official. All the service without the commission. It's the smart way to buy and sell a home.
Football's back, so it's time for a Hog Wild tailgate pack. Includes 2 racks of ribs, our slow smoked meats, your choice of sides, plus cookies and buns. Pick up a pack at a Hog Wild near you.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
We get set for the second quarter from Buell Stadium. Millard North, Millard South. Millard South brushed their way to a 9-2 season last year with nearly 3,000 yards rushing over 11 games. That has been the key so far here in the first 12 minutes. 135 yards rushing, up 10-0. And they are driving all the way down to the Millard North 40. 3rd down and 7. Irving with Harris in the backfield. Gertis to the bottom of your screen, top of the screen in the slot is Antrell Taylor. Finished runner-up in his weight class in the winner of wrestling. And here's Harris, and he dances the outside. And here comes the speed. He splits the defense. He's into the end zone touchdown from 40 yards out.
Well, we're going to see on the replay, and I'll show you exactly what makes this play great. Millard North is going to send Casey Kelly on a linebacker blitz. It's Cole Herbersheimer comes around, stones him in the hole, and that just frees Harris to go the distance.
Cole Herbersheimer going to do an official visit to Laramie, Wyoming in the morning. Wyoming Cowboys thinking big. It's an offensive line. Splits the uprights, win 17-0 on Harris's second touchdown of the game. And look at the 7th touchdown year, career second planetary motion.
It's just so smooth. Look at the long strides he takes. He's not a super tall dog. He strides those plays and covers so much ground with his belt.
So you can make the infield for the Patriots wide receivers.
That block at the hole that Herbersheimer was well good. Jason Kelly is a good linebacker. He's got the fourth US double. Herbersheimer just completely canceled him out.
One of the rare freshmen Herbersheimer would have started for that man right there, having moved to head coach of Millard South. Herbersheimer started as a freshman, finished his junior year on Nebraska. Could have picked either defensive line or offensive line. And now it looks like he will have his pick of colleges. Wyoming really wants an Ultra Texas State. Kansas as well. Wichita 117 returning starters. Jimmy Newman's 111-56. Most recent state title, 2009. Landon strong leg kickoff. Great shot to another touchdown.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Shop Woodhouse first during the Ram Power Days event at Woodhouse Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Blair. Some of the hottest deals this fall on our all-new Ram inventory. With over 200 new Rams on the lot, we can help you find your perfect truck match and have you ready for anything that comes your way. Check out our whole new Ram lineup and offers at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com or come out and see us for a test drive just 15 miles outside of Omaha. Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. For more high school action, be sure to check out YurView.com.
There's Millard South leading 24-0. The Patriots turning game's first turnover into a score. And Millard North still in search of the first victory on a big hole. As Millard South was set to the open drive, they are who we thought they were. Really, really good. They've proved it in the first 2 weeks. Wins against Brentwood ties the 10th. And a minute and 4 seconds into the second quarter, we're up 24-0. This team's getting off. They don't need any help from the opponent. And Millard North, with the penalties and now the turnover, have been giving them plenty of freebies. Raymond with another kickoff into the end zone. Let's go check down for this offense. One thing you know about the Patriots teams, they're always going to have guts. They're not going to quit on a game. And they need to show it right here. They really need to come up with something. Put a score on the board, get back within 3 before you head into the halftime break. Maybe the defense has just gotten tightened up in a long game. Last year, Millard went 3-6, missed the playoffs for the first time since 2008. We had the second toughest schedule in Class A. Last year, the only change is if you played a team at home, you play on the road. What a problem to start the year. Last play, positive yardage, we gave you a 10. But second down and 7. Millard was already good. Number 14 in the state. Number 15 in the state. Playing with a 2 team in the state. We get number 9 team in the state next week in Cleveland Park. We're in the district with Plain Vista, Oklahoma, Burke, defending state champions who knocked off last week by Millard West, Fremont, and Groton. 24-0 leadership. Lindell turns on the option, cuts to the outside, late pitch, and Ellis will have the first down. It was a good play by Lindell, with the right choice. You can see we talked about this week one job with Jairus Ellis. If you get into the edge, he's going to crank up. If you just get him in the room, he's the fastest Mustangs. You get a little glimpse of it here. He sits that foot on the ground, he gets vertical. It's hard to catch. He's a lot like Edwin Harrison now. Taquan Johnson was fast himself. The defensive back made the solo tackle. It is just short. They said that Ellis' knee was down before the 30, third down and 1. Canal in motion, inside handoff, and just enough for him with Beverly. For a first down, that is a much-needed first down. Millard North down 24-0 with the defense right back at them. The other place that have been successful on the ball is to the outside. They really didn't really anything done between the tackles, but what they've got to do is they've got to keep pounding away because that defense is so keen on the outside run. They want to keep being successful, they have to run inside. Run inside the Bednar. And he calls for the finish. John Schreiner on very sharp and tired. Game time clear. And Cleo Stadium. John Keeney, our producer director. One thing I'm seeing differently here is when you saw this team in week 1, they ran almost exclusively between the tackles in the first and second quarter, and that game was really fast. And they come out here and just go back. We're not going to try to establish it. We're going to go with what's working. And it's been successful for the most part. But like you said, the penalties and now the turnover really won't get them. There's a flag down. Lindell got thrown down after he let the pass go. Now there's wider than intended receiver and nothing to pass on my call to Millard South. If you're just joining us, back in the first quarter, Millard North was called for roughing the passer on a hit on T.J. Urban that resulted in an interception. Here it just resulted in a 15-yard penalty first down. Just a late show from Jake Mayville right there. Break for Millard North, some lead.
It's turning a little bit after Isaiah Harris's third rushing touchdown to put the Patriots up 24-0. The ball resting at midfield. And Lundqvist started. Ben Wendell playing in the second quarter. That was by design. Two sophomore quarterbacks. Wendell carrying it. Not very far with a big left paw. A 6'8", 255-pound junior defensive lineman, Jack Nicholson. Calls it down. We're not going anywhere. Just for a yard. Millard North has had such a great run of quarterbacks, including the Heisman Trophy winner, Larry Crouch. Wendell was pressed into action last year due to some injuries at the position. Now the face is 2nd down and 9. One man in front for the Patriots in timeout taking it. No. Fred Petito signal timeout. The official right next to him. Threw his flag. Petito recognized it, but he did not try to call timeout. No, what he was pointing out was that Millard South was offside. He's going up in reaction by Fred. He didn't seem real happy. He was doing his job, but I was an official. I was just sitting there in politics, anything. I don't know if that was right. Was it right? Now you wonder here, it's 2nd down and 40. Do you take a chance at a big play? Why not? Wendell can throw it. The southpaw under center. He will throw it over the backfield. And he's over to the team by receiver. He will tear it. Real hard. Yeah, I had him out there too. Terry had a little bit of space and just couldn't quite link up with him. Famous Millard North offense. They once ran against Norfolk. 2010, 590 yards in the game. Just missing Terry. Daquan Johnson has great closing speed out of the quarterback spot for the Patriots. Doesn't it just feel like everything is just about to tip off for this offense? And now this offense needs to convert a 3rd down and 4. And Millard South jumps outside. That'll be a 1st down. Wendell, a little bit of a hard count on the left side of the Millard South defensive line. Nicholson and Hibblesheimer, they both jump and it costs Millard South 1st down for the Mustangs. So the penalties, which really has stunted Millard North in the early part of this season and this game, now they've gone the other way. And they'll place the ball down at the 38-yard line. And if you're into the D-line play, you just saw him on the screen and right on the end of the line. Watch Hibblesheimer, number 75, just watch him for a play and see the way he dominates. Terry, down the sidelines for Grace, and he was knocked out of bounds. The defensive linemen were in the backfield while Terry was coming around the edge. That's a really good run by Gabriel Terry. Great little cut there, and he scoots back to the outside, finds the sideline, and just gets tripped up. Good play on the back end by Taylor Heinrich, who leads his team in tackles. Pick up a 33. Terry coming in was not part of the rotation, carrying the football. 1st down and goal. 24-0 Millard South. And Fred Petito comes out of the sidelines across the line. He does not want to waste this opportunity. We're down 24-0. We have the best opportunity. 1st and goal from the 5. We'll see what Petito battles up when you return. 24-0 Millard South leads Millard North. It's game time on YurView.
Another bad grade?
I miss little grades. And the square root of her biggest problem.
I studied all week.
I miss poor study skills. A stress beyond her comprehension.
We can't keep having this conversation.
It's not like I want to fail.
When low grades follow you home, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results. Keep low grades out. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Football's back, so it's time for a Hog Wild tailgate pack. Includes 2 racks of ribs, our slow smoked meats, your choice of sides, plus cookies and buns. Pick up a pack at a Hog Wild near you.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
After a 33-yard run by Gabriel Terry, the best opportunity of the night for Millard North. First down and goal at the 5. Fred Petito. 8th all-time in the state and wins 306. We've had an upset in Class A. Tell you about the moment. Laying down. Cuts it back up. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown. And the sophomore quarterback leads the drive. An 80-yard drive. And a 5-yard touchdown to the keeper. One position on the edge. Laying down. He had a chance to pitch. But he just gave a little shoulder shake instead of there. He's got 6 on the outside. But just shimmies the shot. Cuts back inside. Bowers is laying in the end zone. Right decision. He throws Johnson for just a mere second. And that mere second was enough for him. Laying down to come to his right. He took the Mustangs on the field. And the Tigers. PAT. It's 24-7. Impressive drive the Mustangs. And you can see when they get out of the own line. This trouble. Good things are happening with this offense. And we haven't been able to say that much in the first 3 weeks of the season about a little bit. It's just a smooth and factor that I was talking about before we went to break. It just seems like sometimes they're a little out of rhythm. And this whole offense is predicated on rhythm. It's about timing. It's about footwork. It's about everybody being in the right spot at the right time. And when you're not, it kind of looks like a big week run. And you are. But it's not like that right there. Right there in the field. Then laying down was the rare freshman played varsity football with Fred Petito. And about finished last year as a starting quarterback. He's going to have a certain quarter record for starting back for the Mustangs. He upset in Class A. Because of the short stadium in Lincoln Seacrest Field, on Fridays they were playing a late afternoon game and an evening game. Good one. I mean, late afternoon game. Before Lincoln Southeast. Right number 7 in the state, they knocked off number 3 Omaha their side, 22-17. And then the Warriors, their first loss. It's this problem with trouble. Has 3 rushing touchdowns. He has 8 on the season. He has 20 touchdowns. He sneaks down and make it down. And there's a tackle and Terry. And it belongs to Andrew Taylor comes down with it. And finally he's position points for the offense. But a blast to the battle that was. Gabriel Terry
took the ball away. Big play on first down. Big call. Millard South. Martell's on kill. And he's going to run this time. Waiting for him to get down to 70 yards to the runners. First down for a loss of a couple. Coming up at halftime. Bishop with Dr. Ben Kinney. President Iowa Western. And high school football we're brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. We're going on with Iowa Western at iowa.cc.edu. Call 800-432-5852. Second round 12. And Urban keeps it flag down. And Urban eventually down. He'll give it a 16. This is going to come back.
And I couldn't see if it was 75 or 77. It was one of those guys who looks like a linebacker over the time. Had a handful of jersey over time himself.
Patriots all the way back to their own 43-yard line.
So the first quarter it was the Mustangs that struggled with penalties. Now here in the secondary, Millard South has been bitten by the penalty bug a little bit. Third and, I don't think the scoreboard's right. I think it's 2nd and 17.
It is second down and 11. Second down to Houston. 147 from Curie. No screen and Ray goes a big game in Curtis. In the open, dancing, runs, holds him out for the there's a fumble, and it is recovered by Millard North. Tyson Todd tracked down the bouncing football, forced by Reynolds. Curtis running right down the middle of the field. He had his eyes wide open for the end zone. Reynolds from behind punches it free. And the first turnover of the night for Millard South.
Well, you're exactly right, Gary. Just a little bit relaxed at the end of this run. With ball security for Gervais. He thinks he's got 6 points. And look, he starts looking around, cuts back. And the ball just gets out away from his body. And it's punched out there. Good awareness on the back end. Tyson Todd scoops it up. And now Millard is back up right at the shadow of the goalpost.
And the ball just went on an 80-yard touchdown drive, 24-7. 4:52 to go in the first half. Trying to lead the ball off the shadow. Their own goal on the red line. And a hard-earned 1 yard. Great atmosphere for this rivalry game. Student section on both sides packed.
Millard North won 97 yards and makes us a 10-point game for a half. That changes the complexion of the second half drastically.
Week 3 of the high school season. And pick up of the yard. Mindell under center. Turns. Put up. And he is thrown down, but before he gets a pickup of about 6. Spencer Wagner on his safety spot. Get him up to lead the tackle, and now it'll be 3rd down and 3. Good play call, and Mindell let him lead it. Josh McCarroll also in on the tackle. 3rd down and 3. But it just past the 13-yard line. Mindell was 3 wide receiver to the top of the screen. No man back there was better. Mindell will throw it. The pass is deflected behind screens and falls incomplete.
And they didn't come out from the center clean. And we've got some complaints about the snap. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Jason Kelly is back to punt. The normal punter is Blake Classman. But Kelly is standing in the end zone to receive the snap. Keep an eye on Kingston Kelly. Who puts it away. And down at the 45-yard line. It's a 35-yard punt. The first time in short case for Kelly. Still plenty of time. High flying offense, big vulnerability for Millard South, but we have seen numerous times tonight. Up 23-7, 3:22 to go in the first half. There's 10 left to go for the first quarter. We might have hit on something there, very far from one of the starting safety as well. I think that's the amount of the field right now. He actually joined them. Look out to the sideline. He's been 2-2. Wrapping his left shoulder in ice. There's Harris. First for 8 on first down.
Shoulder pad off and didn't help. That's not a good sign.
Houston Kelly with another tackle, no surprise. They're just committed to play football at North Dakota last year. 74 tackles, 22 in the first 2 games. Isaiah Harris. Well, Harris is playing the first time he can go anywhere. Urban wanted to go somewhere when he's got a first down. Ethan Berry had to be running the game. Urban was just dragging him around. Enough for a pick of the line, and that's a first down carry. And TJ Urban.
Horrible shot was putting on the corner. And the tackle pulled it, and I did it again. Moving around. We all the defender give him a big space to run into.
I'd like to run behind something at 6'3", 276. Harris runs over the side of the line, and he's got about 8. Isaiah Harris, 102 tonight, second in Class A in rushing. First 2 weeks, 277 yards. And a big crooked number of them. He's got 3 scores, he's got 8. This would be a big drive of Millard South to put points up at 24-7. Clock and 2 minutes to go in the first half. Urban keeps it, dances away from the finger on the run, pulls it downfield. Caught by Taylor. He was wide open in the flat. And it's first and goal.
Panthers shot the tackle. He's the leading receiver for this team. They don't have anybody in 7 yards of him.
He's special, he makes things happen, and he gets open.
As you took off the pressure, 2 players, Millard North goal, 1 receiver, leave the floor right open.
First down to goal. Urban, before the end zone, Curtis, and it is knocked away. That was home. The defensive play. And the coverage by Caleb Millard.
The practice this fake concept to Curtis a couple of times. And Curtis did not go with him. Curtis didn't win the separation. Go back to that time.
So on second down to goal, Curtis and Taylor split out to the right for Urban. Chance to really stop. Harris lunges to the 3.
22, Isaiah Harris on the carry.
Millard South has all 3 timeouts remaining as we hit a minute to go in the first half. Dr. Dan Kinney will join me at halftime, the president of Iowa Western. 11 carries, 141 yards for Isaiah Harris. 418 yards already on the year for Isaiah Harris. Urban, Curtis, slant. Munger reaches around, knocks it away. The flag comes out.
They're going to get him for that left hand. reaching onto the back of Wood as opposed to break a play with the right focus. He's on the back receiver. You're going to get that call most of the time.
Pass interference by Millard North. First and goal.
You move the ball between the 1 and the 2-yard line. First and goal, and another look at the pass interference on Millard North in the end zone.
I'm going to get a good look at it right there, and it's the left hand around the neck.
And he's friends with Curtis. He's just putting his arm around him. His timeout is taken. 24-7. Isaiah Harris has 3 scores. Ben Wendell led an 80-yard touchdown drive for the Mustangs. They forced a fumble, but couldn't do anything with it. Went 3 and out. Now Millard South is trying to put it in the end zone. Also at halftime, the stats analysis, go through the scoreboard. Talked about the Lincoln Southeast upset of Omaha West Side tonight. Big game between Millard West and Omaha North. So Papio South, who we'll see against North later on this regular season. They are at Bellevue West, the number 1 team in Class A, who has outscored their opposition in the first 2 weeks 126-6. Millard South is second. They've outscored the opposition 94-10 coming into tonight. Omaha West Side, before their loss to Lincoln Southeast, had outscored the opposition 83-14. Millard West ranked 4th. They've outscored the opposition 54-7. Elkhorn South ranked 5th, 76-21. Bellevue West is having a good night. They're up 37-3. Isaiah Harris is having a good night. 3 touchdowns, maybe half a yard, and while he lands on the field turf, a flag lands right next to his face mask. And we'll await the call thrown by the back judge as he relays what he saw. He saw a hold.
I don't know what it is about us coming to Buell Stadium, but it becomes yellow laundry day every time we're standing up here on the home sideline. Both these teams have been heavily penalized here through a half of football.
At the end of the game, stay tuned for our defensive play of the game, brought to you by Cox Business, and our player of the game, brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Week 3 of the high school season, with 9 weeks of regular season play. A little bit of confusion on now they're finally going to march off the penalty.
I think they were wondering whether they should mark it from the spot of the foul or from the line of scrimmage, but I think it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. The hold was right at the line of scrimmage.
So now Millard South will take a timeout. If this is the first time that you've seen a game from Buell Stadium, it is a multi-use facility. Not only football, you have soccer, band, lacrosse, track and field, also used for youth sports. They've got a brand new scoreboard, 49 feet high. It's got a jumbo replay screen. It really is beneficial to the students at the 3 Millard Public High Schools. They get to be involved in creativity and putting things together in their video department.
And some of these kids are going to be ready to go to Iowa Western and join that program over there right off the street.
Again, Dr. Dan Kinney, president of Iowa Western, will join me at halftime, which is 31 seconds away on that brand new scoreboard. But the way this game has gone, it could be 30 minutes. 24-7, Millard South leading Millard North.
Hey, with that holding penalty is a huge break for Millard North.
She wants this game to go on all night long.
Maybe not all night. You got to get up early and watch cartoons tomorrow, Gary.
Now we have more whistles, and we'll have a discussion. This may have to do with the time on the clock.
Fred would like a word.
Here at Buell Stadium, the referee is not mic'd, so he cannot communicate with the clock operator. He has to come to the home sideline, and then through there, communication. They relay how much time should be on the clock, and they have added 3 seconds. Nobody in the backfield, 5 wide receivers for TJ Urban to pick. Urban, 2-step drop. Fade to the end zone for Harris, and it is broken up nicely.
No pass interference called there, and I thought that was pretty surely going to be another flag on the field. Let's take another look. It's actually pretty good coverage. I thought that arm was over top, but it was in between. Looking at it live, it looked like for sure it was going to be called, but that's good coverage.
Ethan Berry keeps the Patriots off the scoreboard, forcing a 29-yard field goal from Cole Lammel. The snap was high, there was a hesitation, and Lammel's field goal is a line drive below the crossbar and wide to the left. That's a victory for Millard North, because Millard South got all the way to the 2-yard line, and they come up empty with 26 seconds to go, 24-7. Millard North will have the football, even with 2 timeouts, and Fred Petito may elect to sit on it and work on some things in the locker room. They definitely feel a lot better in the last 6 minutes of the second quarter than they did in the first quarter and a half.
No doubt. But Gary, I think you're forgetting who Fred Petito is. He doesn't sit on anything. They're going to run plays. You win.
I talked to Fred earlier in the week.
You win this time.
Well, hold on here. The clock continues to run. There's a discussion amongst the officials. I think the clock should run out. And it will. And the first half is complete on Friday the 13th. Millard South 24, Millard North 7. Coming up, I'll sit down with Dr. Dan Kinney, president of Iowa Western. We'll take a look at some highlights, a big first half for Isaiah Harris, stats analysis, scoreboard, and more from Buell Stadium. 24-7, Millard South leads Millard North at halftime on Game Time.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
Game Time High School Football is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Smart is selling your home with FSBO Homes. The Home Transparency Report helped me sell my home faster and at a fair price. Buyers walked through my home online using the 3D virtual open house. So I had fewer private showings. And I accepted an offer with the tap of a finger. Let's make this sale official. All the service without the commission. It's the smart way to buy and sell a home.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Halftime at Buell Stadium, Millard South, number 2 in the state, trying to improve to 3-0. They lead it. Millard North 24-7. Cox Communications, the largest private telecom company in America, has launched Grand Stories just in time for Grandparents' Day. This initiative brings grandparents closer to the grandkids by teaching them how to make stronger connections with the people in their lives who matter most.
Since her grandma's been gone, we don't see that much of each other.
I want Cody to know who I am.
할머니 나 이거 언제 배워줘 그러면서 내가 손녀를 볼 때마다 핸드폰만 보고 있어요. 손녀는
Select profile picture.
Press this. Have you taken a selfie before?
No.
Oh, okay.
손이 떨리고 마음이 떨려서 아무것도 안 돼.
I want to teach you how to do the video part.
Okay.
You're going to click on that.
Now I start.
Oh, well, I got half of me.
Good? Yeah.
Hello, Jessica.
Hi, Cody.
Cut in.
I worked up enough nerve to ask her if she would dance with me.
오늘은 김치를 만들 겁니다.
This is my Mahjong class that I'm doing today.
I love you so much. I can't wait to talk to you and hear from you soon.
Wow. Love it.
Broadband connectivity is most powerful when it creates a human connection, and Cox is helping to bridge generational communication gaps by inspiring grandparents to explore where their grandkids live on social media. For more grand stories, visit cox.com/grandstories.
Francesca Stutzman and Reagan Simona.
When it's your business, owner is just one of your jobs. Cox Business Security Solutions can help with a customized surveillance and detection system that lets you adjust the temperature while you're picking up flowers for the cafe. An extra set of eyes confirming tonight's special arrived so you can add it to the board. It's the promise of a good night's sleep, reassuring you everything is in its place and will still be there for whatever your job may be tomorrow.
Shop America's best-selling truck at Woodhouse Ford. With over 300 F-Series trucks available to choose from, including class-leading capability and driver assist technologies. Come see why people are shopping Woodhouse first. Start and end your journey with us. Visit us at one of our 3 locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth, or online at woodhouse.com. Built Ford proud. Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Oh, not getting into college with this score.
I'm that score. The reason they're stressed, he's not getting into her dream college.
Another practice test. Doesn't matter. I'll never be ready.
Ready? It's only the biggest test of her life.
When test prep stress takes over, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results.
I got it.
Reject the stress. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Football's back, so it's time for a Hog Wild tailgate pack. Includes 2 racks of ribs, our slow-smoked meats, your choice of sides, plus cookies and buns. Pick up a pack at a Hog Wild near you.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Welcome back to halftime of the YurView Game of the Week. Along with Iowa Western President Dr. Dan Kinney, I'm Gary Sharp. School is underway. Students are bustling around campus. Athletics is going on. How has the start of 2019 gone for you?
Well, really off to a great start. In visiting with faculty, they tell me that we have one of the best groups of students that we've had in years, which must mean they're going to class, so it's been good.
A lot of activity on campus. Just kind of walk us through, and you've been here for a while now, coming in on 3 decades, the growth of this school, that you have students all over campus, they're living on campus, there's quite a buzz going on.
Yeah, there really is. This time of the year is really fun because of all the students walking all over campus, down the roads where you have to be careful and all that sort of thing. But we're really excited to have such a beautiful campus here. And especially this fall, the new wellness building that is about to open. I know the students are really anxious to get in there, and it's a beautiful building, so they're going to enjoy it.
You're in a competitive market where you're trying to find the next thing, the number of students. What do you think, as you've worked your way through this as president of Iowa Western, that sets Iowa Western apart?
Well, I think one of the things is that we try to stay current with electronics and that sort of thing, what students are really interested in, and how students are changing. And quite honestly, from when I came here a few years ago to now, they think a little differently. They're a little bit different, actually, a lot more mature. And so, you know, that's, and now we communicate with them by text than by phone or emails. Those are old stuff.
It's not just the 18 to 22-year-old that's walking around campus here in Council Bluffs, but it is the older student that is walking around campus on weekends. How has that area grown for Iowa Western?
It has really grown, and especially the last few years because of funding that we've been able to get from the state to train and retrain adults for some of the new careers that are emerging, and that's been a big thing for us.
As you now look to the future and there is buildings going up on campus, there's a lot of buzz here. What's the next big thing that is on your plate for Iowa Western?
Well, I think the next big thing really is figuring out things like esports and some of the communications equipment and that sort of thing that students are more and more interested in. We may build some more buildings. In fact, it's kind of have one on the back burner at this point, but it's more about just really technology and communicating with students that way.
Walk us through a typical day for the president of Iowa Western.
Well, actually, everyone thinks I just goof off in my office, but so mostly it's just a lot of meetings on campus and off. It's going to Des Moines, talking with legislators, politicians, and working on issues that we have, and dealing with bureaucrats and all the red tape that people don't understand that we have in operating a college.
You have spearheaded a successful revamp here at Iowa Western, 26 years as the president. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Gary.
Dr. Dan Kinney here at halftime. It's the YurView Game of the Week.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
Game Time High School Football is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
This is my hometown, and I'm proud of how the community is growing. From big-time attractions to world-class dining and crackling nightlife, there's so much going on. You could miss it if you don't tune in. Go Omaha is a new show on YurView, Cox Channel 1013. We're going to take tours of the best places to shop, eat, take your family, and have fun. Don't miss out. Tune in to Cox Channel 1013 or say Go Omaha into your Contour remote.
Another bad grade? I miss little grades. And the square root of her biggest problem. I studied all week. I miss poor study skills. I stress beyond her comprehension.
We can't keep having this conversation.
It's not like I want to fail.
When low grades follow you home, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results. Keep low grades out. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.
Shop Woodhouse Nissan first, where you'll find the redesigned 2019 Nissan Altima, the most fuel-efficient all-wheel drive sedan in its class. The Nissan Altima has the new standard with touchscreen audio display, forward collision warning, and much more. Visit us in Bellevue or see our lease and purchase specials online at woodhousenissan.com. Delivering selection, service, and confidence. This is Woodhouse Nissan.
Halftime at Buell Stadium. That is the Millard North Marching Band, 300 strong. It's 10% of the student body and is not only recognized statewide but nationally. Let's listen in to the pride of the Mustangs. The Millard North Marching Band. What a great halftime performance. The championship recognized Millard North dance team and now the Millard North Marching Band. It is 24-7. Millard South leads Millard North at halftime. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. If you go back through that first half, some familiar things got in the way of Millard North in terms of penalties. But it seemed like after that 80-yard touchdown drive, John, that Millard North settled in on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they really did, and created a turnover for themselves that prevented another score for Millard South, and then held up with their backs against the goal line again, as they did on the first drive of the game, and resulted in a missed field goal and no more points given up. If you look at the drive chart, Millard South went field goal and then 3 touchdowns on their first 4 possessions, and then didn't score on their next 2. So turnaround, maybe not complete, but I think this Millard North team is starting to grow into itself before our very eyes. And we say this every time we see Millard North. The team you see in August and September is not the same one you're going to see in October. They tend to get better as the season goes along. How good can this Millard North team be? Well, we don't. It's hard to say, but I can guarantee you the last couple of games of the season are not going to look like this.
Well, we know what Millard South is supposed to look like, and they definitely look like a state championship contending team. Isaiah Harris, 3 rushing touchdowns, 24-7. Halftime. Millard South leads Millard North More from Buell Stadium after this. It's game time on YurView.
When it's your business, owner is just one of your jobs. Cox Business Security Solutions can help with a customized surveillance and detection system that lets you adjust the temperature while you're picking up flowers for the cafe. An extra set of eyes confirming tonight's special arrived so you can add it to the board. It's the promise of a good night's sleep, reassuring you everything is in its place and will still be there for whatever your job may be tomorrow.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda today, where we make your Mazda buying process easy. Come in and take a look at our selection of all-new Mazda CX-5s. The all-new Mazda CX-5 comes equipped with premium features that let you stay focused on the road and get you ready for your next adventure. Stop by our showrooms at 66 and Elm or our new location at 144th and Giles for your test drive today, and find your new Mazda CX-5 for your next adventure. Delivering selection, service, and confidence. This is Woodhouse Mazda, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Football's back, so it's time for a Hog Wild tailgate pack. Includes 2 racks of ribs, our slow-smoked meats, your choice of sides, plus cookies and buns. Pick up a pack at a Hog Wild near you.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is my hometown, and I'm proud of how the community is growing. From big-time attractions to world-class dining and crackling nightlife, there's so much going on. You could miss it if you don't tune in. Go Omaha is a new show on YurView, Cox Channel 1013. We're going to take tours of the best places to shop, eat, take your family, and have fun. Don't miss out. Tune in to Cox Channel 1013 or say Go Omaha into your Contour remote.
Tonight's Game Time defensive play of the game is brought to you by Cox Business. Always know what's going on with detection and surveillance products that protect your bottom line and help your business stay ahead of the unexpected.
Friday the 13th, nobody in the first half has walked under a ladder or opened an umbrella inside of the press box. What they have done is they have seen Isaiah Harris run for 3 touchdowns. Let's take a look at the first half highlights in a 24-7 Millard South lead.
Yeah, here you see early on, TJ Irvin getting it going with the legs. And this was the story of the first half for Millard South. Isaiah Harris just running all over everybody. Harris again, this time between the tackles. And it's going for a touchdown. One of his 3 first half touchdowns. And this was the bad news show for Millard North. All the way back at the 5-yard line, the fumble recovered by Millard South. It's going to wind up another Isaiah Harris touchdown. He scoots in from 5 yards away. Millard North would have something left in the tank. They came all the way back. 80-yard touchdown drive. That was the big play to Gabriel Terry that set up Ben Windell on the 5-yard scamper. The only score of the first half for the Mustangs.
First half, 206 yards of rushing for Millard South, 141 of those by Isaiah Harris. Big number for Millard South, up 24-7. Millard North will get the football, though, to begin the second half when you return. This is Game Time. Oh. Southeast in the capital city, upset Omaha West Side 22-17. Millard West against Omaha North. Millard West shut out Millard North opening week. They stopped Omaha Burke's 14-game winning streak last week. Last check at halftime, they were up 17-6 against Omaha North. Bellevue West, #1 in the state. Their offense has scored 126 points in the first 2 weeks of the season. They are up big on Papio South. Omaha Central tonight, taking on Omaha Burke. They were down 24-10 at halftime. We will see Omaha Central against Omaha Bryan next week on the Game Time Game of the Week, as you get a look at the coaching staff for Millard South. Up 24-7. They had a chance late in the first half to go up by another touchdown, but penalties hurt them, and then a missed field goal. So adjustments on each side. Two longtime head coaches that have been involved in this game for many, many years, Fred Petito and Andy Means. Last year, Millard South won this game by a score of 35-10. At the end of the night, we'll have the defensive play of the game for you, brought to you by Cox Business. Always know what's going on with detection and surveillance products that protect your bottom line and help your business stay ahead of the unexpected. We'll also have our player of the game, brought to you by Iowa Western. There is Fred Petito. So back for the start of the second half. Along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Cole Lamel will kick off for the Patriots, who are in the all-white with the red helmets. Millard North in the blue jerseys and the gray trousers, and that familiar gray helmet with the white tape around the entire helmet. And at the 1 yard line, this is returnable. Jadis Ellis takes the opening kickoff of the second half out to the 21 yard line. And beginning the second half at quarterback will be Ben Weindell. Weindell started the second quarter, led the lone Mustang touchdown drive. Two sophomore quarterbacks for Millard North, and Fred Petito plays both of them. There is some trouble with the clock. The clock did not run on the kickoff. So our referee has come to the Millard North sideline, and he will need to tell the Millard North coaching staff to communicate with the press box on the time, as Fred Petito is staring up our way. Above us is the press box. As part of the remodeling of Buell Stadium, they will have a new press box. The stadium opened in the 60s. Again, multi-purpose for the entire community. They've got the brand new scoreboard. Last year, their old scoreboard, which is the original scoreboard, twice, John, they had to bring in a portable. So they said, we've got to get a brand new scoreboard, and they went big with the $400,000 jumbo screen.
It is gorgeous, isn't it? It has been in full use. And the couple of times we've been here, and each team, when they're the home team, get to put their own graphics up there, and tonight we have, of course, the Millard North graphics up there.
That's the old scoreboard that no longer is in use.
There it is. I wonder if Raising Cane's is still paying for that advertisement on there.
The new scoreboard is right there, and they're still working out some of the kinks in the third week of use. So they may keep the time on the field. I think that's just the hand signal that the referee gave to Fred Petito, and he'll have to tell the Millard South sideline as well. And eventually we'll be underway here in the second half. It is Friday the 13th.
It is. I think they're just trying to decide what should happen here, and I guess they're treating it like a touchback. No time off the clock.
So Weindell is under center to begin the second half for Millard North, down 24-7. And the toss play to Terry, and he is bottled up after about a yard pickup.
You mentioned, Gary, that Terry had not been involved in the running game up to this point. But I think for Fred Petito, the main thing is just, hey, who cares if we're super comfortable with how they run the offense? We just got to get some good athletes on the field.
Good athlete on the field defensively for Millard South. Jake Gassaway, we've called his name a couple of times. He's only a sophomore, outside linebacker. Pickup of about 2 yards. And a big pickup all the way out to the 34-yard line. Bednar before he's upended, but that is a pickup of 11.
The best inside run of the night for the Mustangs.
The clock here in the stadium and on your screen is not working. They are keeping time on the field.
No down and distance, no clock. Something gone wrong with the brand new scoreboard.
Don't worry, it'll be Saturday the 14th before long. Weindell hands it off to Bednar once again. And for maybe a yard, that interior of the Millard South defensive line that is awful big, Nicholson and Herbolsheimer wrapped him up and got some help from their friends. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media. All of John's stories that first appear at YurView.com. You can follow us on Twitter at YurViewOMA. 2nd down and 8. Bednar is the lone back behind Ben Weindell, the sophomore quarterback. And as Weindell gets the snap, a flag flies, and illegal procedure on Millard North. They were hurt by penalties in the first quarter and a half. Settled in, and now this 5-yard penalty will move them back to the 31-yard line, just underway in the third quarter. 24-7 Millard South. Isaiah Harris with 3 touchdowns rushing.
The penalties have just been brutal.
The whole season so far for Millard North. They started 0-4 last year, down 17, trying to avoid an 0-3 start. Weindell keeps it, a great fake, and he's got a pickup of about 7 yards. Boy, he sold that fake and then had a little room around the edge.
It's the first step. He's so quick with that first step. When he gets to the corner, he can make guys miss too. Weindell's a talented runner. He can really operate this offense. He's just got to settle into some kind of rhythm. Now they have 3rd and manageable. Let's see if they go to the air here.
Tate Heinrichs in on the tackle. He had 74 last year. The very quick and big Millard South defense. Weindell keeps it again, and this time maybe for a yard. And it'll bring up 4th down.
And Weindell comes up a little gimpy.
And Fred Petito will send out the punting unit. Kaysen Kelly, who has been pressed into service as the punter after the Blake Klossman injury, will punt for the 2nd time as Weindell tries to run it off as he comes to the near sidelines. So Millard South holds on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Gertis and Taylor are back deep. Well, it'll make you shudder if you're a special teams coordinator. And Kelly's punt, not a good one. They will mark it up near midfield. That is a punt of 9 yards.
Another big defensive stand needed for Millard North, and for Millard South. I'm sure what they talked about in that halftime locker room was, look guys, we get a stop, we come back on offense, 1 drive, and the game is just about put away. Make this 31-7 and start playing some of your younger guys, getting some backups, some playing time. But it's incumbent upon the starters now to come out and put this thing away.
They have corrected the time. 8:50 on your screen is exactly what remains here in the third quarter as the Patriots up 24-7. Ranked number 2 in the state, they take over. Harris in the backfield on the left hip of Gertis. And Harris is off and running again. And he's running towards the end zone. And he takes off for the 4th time. He has hit pay dirt. He goes 51 yards on the first offensive snap for Millard South in the second half.
He is something else. Are you telling me that that player has offers only from University of Mary, Southwest Minnesota, and Peru State? Somebody else has got to get on the Isaiah Harris bandwagon.
I will tell you, John, he now has 192 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, and it's 30-7 as we await a Cole Lamel PAT. (31-7), Patriots in the lead. A big reason, another one of these from Isaiah Harris.
The vision downfield is just so good.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
South, last year 9-2. Again, they were knocked out of the quarterfinals by Grand Island here at Buell Stadium. The disappointment led to a packed weight room in December when Millard South started preparing for the 2019 season. They're off to a 2-0 start. They're out to a 31-7 lead. 3 minutes and 29 seconds into the second half. Millard South and Millard West meet next week.
And that is a whale of a contest.
That will be a top 4 matchup. Bellevue West #1 in Class A, according to the Omaha World Herald, as Cole Lamel will kick off once again. Most of these end up in the end zone. This one comes up a yard short, and it's returnable. Zigzagging and finally knocked down is Jadis Ellis.
Well, the special teams for Millard North tonight have been pretty effective. They've had some good kick returns, been able to generate some good field position. Now the offense has just got to follow suit.
Ellis is a weapon that Millard North hasn't had for a couple of years. Every week goes by, they're going to try and work him into the offense in different roles. After trying to walk off a bum ankle in the last possession, Ben Weindell is back out there. 31-7 in favor of Millard South. Weindell will keep it. He'll pitch it to Todd. And Tyson Todd is out across the 35-yard line.
That's a really nice play. Good decision by Weindell on the late pitch. And Tyson Todd moving it down the field, picking up a first down. It's the outside, Gary. The outside run game has been the only place Millard North is really finding success.
Millard North 5 state titles. A couple of those years they finished unbeaten, 2003, 2012. Most recent state title, 2015 for Fred Petito, beat Millard West. And as Weindell pulls out from under center too quickly, there is a flag, there is a whistle, there is an illegal procedure on Millard North, and once again a penalty on the Mustangs.
Man, they just cannot get out of their own way. You have a really nice play, pick up a first down, and the very next one, you set yourself behind the chains.
10-0 after the first quarter, 24-7 at halftime. And then Isaiah Harris goes 51 yards on the first snap of the second half for the Patriot offense. 4th time he's been in the end zone. And Millard North is looking at 1st and 15. What a year last year for athletics at Millard North. Volleyball, girls basketball, state champions. Windell, and not going to get much. Such great pursuit, especially by the second level of this Patriot defense.
Yeah, that play was out of sync from the jump. It looked like the left tackle didn't get out of his stance in time and really just threw off the rhythm out on the whole thing.
Our first look at Millard South, we'll see them later in the year here when they play host to Creighton Prep. We're going to be talking about for the next couple of years Jake Gassaway, sophomore outside linebacker, who is in on another tackle. It's 2nd down and 13. Windell to put it up. Lefty turns, fires it. And Cannell cannot haul it in across midfield.
And it's another ball delivered too high from Windell. He's really struggled to keep the ball down.
So it's 3rd down and 13, another passing situation for the Mustangs. Millard North faces off against Creighton Prep next week. Non-district game. Millard South is in one of the better districts in Class A, if not the best district. Columbus, which is 2-0, Elkhorn South 2-0, Prep 2-0, Omaha Northwest, and then Omaha Westside. Trick play. Ellis's pass is incomplete.
Well, it did not fool Tyquan Johnson at all. He was on his man like glue. There you see it, the toss to Ellis, the halfback pass, but look at that. Defender right there.
Trying to find Travis Pollard. And brings up a 4th down and 13. And Kaysen Kelly will have to punt once again. 31-7 in favor of Millard South. Much better punt this time for the North Dakota recruit. And this will be a 38-yard punt for Kaysen Kelly with 7:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. Millard South has run one play in the 2nd half. Went 51 yards on the ground for a touchdown from Isaiah Harris. So volleyball and girls basketball won state titles for Millard North last year. There's a lot of excitement for boys basketball under Tim Cannon.
3 guys that could potentially end up at D1 schools.
Max Morrell, who is a senior, 6'9", top 100 player in the country, committed to Stanford the other day. Hunter Salas, who is a junior, unofficial visit to Iowa State. Antrell Taylor with the catch and ushered out of bounds by Todd, and they're going to say a face mask was the reason that Todd was able to stop Taylor. Another penalty. Fred Petito right next to side judge pleading his case. Boy, it does amaze you, John, how many times that Antrell Taylor has been wide open tonight.
Yeah, they've just lost track of him in coverage, and he runs pretty good routes, but look at that. He just creates separation. There you see the face mask, the head whips around. Should get that call every time. But Taylor, he's a guy that Andy Means said, you know, I asked him, like, okay, we know about Urban, we know about Harris. Who's the guy you need to have a breakout year this year? That's who he pointed to, was Antrell Taylor. Said he's the guy. And so far, I think through 3 games, has not disappointed in that respect.
Kaysen Kelly comes up with another big solo tackle. Garrett Mandolfo, his first carry of the night. Kaysen Kelly headed to North Dakota. Chase Purchell, who is another one of the speedy skill guys that John talked about earlier, the transfer from UTAN, who had a big year here at Millard South last year. He is also headed to North Dakota, but he is out for the next month due to a knee injury that he suffered in the season opener against Gretna. 2nd down and 14 after the big stop by Kelly. Former Millard South Tight end Alex Cloyd is at North Dakota. Alex and Anthony, a big part of Millard South football during their career here. As Urban kept it, beg your pardon, got a yard, and it'll be 3rd down and long for the Patriots, who are up 31-7 halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Kind of the only thing left in doubt in this one is, will we see Isaiah Harris again? 24-point lead, still just under 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd, and 22's night might be done.
Mandolfo is the lone back with Urban. 3rd down and 13. Urban will put it up. Now chased out of the pocket on the run, looks downfield, heaves it downfield, and it is caught. It'll be right at the marker. Rolling out, Urban fired it downfield, and he was able to find Gertis, and Gertis has just enough for a 1st down.
Well, great job keeping his eyes downfield. TJ Urban flushed out of the pocket. Looked like he was going to take off and run, and then look, picks his head up, finds a receiver, makes an accurate throw, picks up the 1st down. Well done for the junior quarterback. That is the kind of growth that we're going to need to see out of him if he wants to get that Division I scholarship that he's after.
So many options in the passing game for Millard South. There's a flag down. The Patriot quarterback goes down. Holding the call. People around Millard will tell you that Urban dominated the youth leagues. Had a really good offseason. More on a junior signal caller. Online right now at YurView.com. John had a chance to sit down with him. And 2nd straight week, we've seen a really good junior quarterback. Cole Payton of Westside last week. And TJ Urban tonight.
There's some quarterback talent sort of cropping up in the Metro. It seemed like, you know, for a couple of years we didn't really have much. We saw Dylan Plotz, who was at Westside, who was really good.
Who walked on at Stanford, where he's currently at.
But, you know, I mean, if you go back a little ways, Easton Stick, who's now in the NFL with the Chargers, of course, but just seemed like there was a little lull in the quarterback talent.
There's that 4.6 40 speed. Urban weaving his way downfield to the end zone, stops, and then walks into the end zone. A 50-yard touchdown run.
Wow. I mean, I don't know what else to say except wow. Tremendous speed, great vision, lateral agility, all on display in one play.
Saw right there a little bit of why he got a regional invite to the Nike 11 camp. And it is an extra point away from 38-7. Lamel's been busy, and he makes it 38-7. 5 rushing touchdowns tonight by the Patriots, as they are well on their way to remaining number 2 in the polls, 3-0 on the year.
Oh, not getting into college with this score.
I'm that score. The reason they're stressed, he's not getting into her dream college.
Another practice test.
Doesn't matter. I'll never be ready.
Ready? It's only the biggest test of her life.
When test prep stress takes over, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results.
I got it.
Reject the stress. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Football's back, so it's time for a Hog Wild tailgate pack. Includes 2 racks of ribs, our slow smoked meats, your choice of sides, plus cookies and buns. Pick up a pack at a Hog Wild near you.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
In favor of 37-7. Yeah, it's Friday the 13th.
It is
37-7. Millard South leads Millard North. This week on YurView's high school football recruiting podcast, Over the Middle, it's probably the greatest high school football rivalry in the country. None other than Jenks and Union out of Oklahoma. Excitable night in Tulsa. Jeremy Crabtree, joined this week by Bob Braziblo of Rivals.com and Mike Ziegenhorn of YurView as they preview the historic high school matchup. Plus, the guys will hit Oklahoma Sooner recruiting and the class of 2020. All that and more on this week's episode of Over the Middle podcast, which you can find at YurView.com. And while you're there, you can check out our schedule for the remaining games, which includes Omaha Central and Omaha Bryan next week, and John's story on TJ Urban, the quarterback for Millard South, who just went 60 yards for a touchdown. Lammel's kickoff with a flag on the field. Ellis is thrown down at the 20-yard line. It has been a night of flags. So that extra point, no good. 37-7 with 4:17 to go. A block in the back will put Millard North in a precarious position to begin this series. Next week, Omaha Central and Omaha Bryan. We're looking forward to seeing Abe Hoskins, talented quarterback for Omaha Central.
Yeah, number one things to be excited about next week, Gary. Top of the list, Abe Hoskins. Second on the list, Omaha Bryan Popcorn.
And then the biggest rivalry in the Metro to some, Prep and Westside, Papio South and North. And then right now it would be a top 4 matchup, Westside and Elkhorn South. And then we're right back here about a month from now, where will be a key district game, Creighton Prep and Millard South. This penalty moves the Mustangs all the way back to the 5.
Here's what you do next week, all right? I know we want people to watch us on TV, but you got to get out to Bryan. Get those concessions. It's the best concessions in the Metro. Here's what you're going to do. All you people watching at home, bring your phone, punch up YurView.com, stream the game while you're sitting in the stands, listening to our great commentary, chowing down on that beautiful popcorn at Bryan High. I got your Friday planned out for you next week.
Or you have a television that has smell-o-vision.
Hey, the smell's not good enough, baby. You got to get the real deal.
Windell tugged and pulled and then finally whipped down. But it is enough for a first down. Clock continues to run here late in the third quarter.
One of these years I'm going to get it through where I get to do concession reviews at all of our stops, right?
Say where our broadcast location is tonight.
You know, ESPN.
It's not, but we're in the middle of 2 concession stands here at Buell Stadium. And whoever's cooking tonight, they are having a good Friday. Not as good as Millard South, up 37-7, late pitch on the ground, recovered by Millard South. And a guy to keep your eye on, he's been everywhere tonight, Jake Gassaway. He has recovered 2 fumbles.
Well, Windell's done really good since he gave a pitch away in the second quarter. And here he gives another one away. This one's high and wide. Turnovers and penalties. This is going to be the story for the first 3 games for Millard North.
Millard South won their opener against Gretna 53-7. Harris had a big night to open the year. Won last week 41-3 against Pius, up 37-7. Mandolfo. We've not seen Harris since his touchdown run to begin the second half. Don't think we'll see him back out there. He's 192 yards. Urban has 126. Kelly and Barry on the tackle. And Mendolfo adds to it with a touchdown run. 11-yard sprint into the end zone. That makes it 43-7.
Doesn't seem to matter who's back there tonight, Gary. It's been Urban, it's been Harris, and now Mendolfo getting in on the action. They have just had their way up front.
Coming in, they had the second most prolific offense in the first 2 weeks of the season behind Bell West at 459 yards. Majority of that on the ground, just like they did last year in that 9-2 season. Lamel's kick this time is good, and it is 44-7. With 2:20 remaining in the third quarter.
Now this offense came in averaging 458 yards a game. 304 of that was coming on the ground. So
what an interesting matchup next week. South and West for the city title, but this offense against that defense. Let's get another look at Mendolfo running right up the middle. Good job all night by that offensive line. That's a defense for Millard North that has spent a majority of Friday the 13th on the field.
And if you were watching on that last play, it's the same play. It's Herbolsheimer pulling across the formation, blowing out the defender who's in the hole, and the running back just has free reign to go wherever he pleases.
And then he'll take an official visit to Wyoming tomorrow. We will go to Bryan next week for Central and Bryan. That'll be the YurView game of the week. Kickoff at 7 p.m. Hope you can join us. You can stay up to date on everything surrounding that game. You can see highlights of this game and our previous games so far this season at YurView.com and on Twitter at YurViewOMA. 44-7, that means a running clock. Lamel with a line drive. And a return out to the 34-yard line for Gabriel Terry. Windell back out at quarterback.
Again, you know, Gary, I said one of my keys for Millard North, I thought it would be ball handling. And yes, that includes not giving away fumbles, which they've done a couple of times. But it's come, the 2 fumbles have come on pitches. It's so important for this offense that the quarterback has great decision making and great ball handling. We can't say that we've seen a check mark in the great column on either of those tonight.
Windell's pass short hops the wide receiver Jadis Ellis.
I want to go back to this proposal that I'm putting forth. You know how ESPN on Thursday nights used to do the Todd's Taste of the Town with Todd Blackledge, where he went to the restaurant? John's Taste of the Concessions, right? You get the signature item, do a little review segment, run it at halftime.
Why?
All in favor, raise my hand.
Millard North Athletic Director Chad Zimmerman is walking around here if you'd like to start in the fourth quarter.
I mean, I got to start bulking up for the winner.
Terry with a pickup of a couple of yards.
Here it gets colder on these parts.
Definitely hasn't been chilly in the first 3 weeks. Boy, you couldn't ask for better weather. Again, a running clock after the Mendolfo touchdown. Make it a 37-point Patriot lead. Windell to throw. Pass downfield, and Ellis had a step on Johnson. Or check that, I beg your pardon. He had a step on Isaiah Wise and almost in stride, just a little bit too far from the sophomore quarterback. And Millard North will have to punt again.
Yeah, it's kind of been the problem for Windell tonight. I touched on it earlier, the overthrow. It's just putting a little bit too much mustard on it.
We've come to the end of the third quarter. All Millard South tonight. Patriots lead the Mustangs 44-7. Game Time on.
This is my hometown, and I'm proud of how the community is growing. From big-time attractions to world-class dining and crackling nightlife, there's so much going on. You could miss it if you don't tune in. Go Omaha is a new show on YurView, Cox Channel 1013. We're going to take tours of the best places to shop, eat, take your family, and have fun. Don't miss out. Tune in to Cox Channel 1013 or say Go Omaha into your Contour remote.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Intercepted down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
Game Time High School Football is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
When it's your business, owner is just one of your jobs. Cox Business Security Solutions can help with a customized surveillance and detection system that lets you adjust the temperature while you're picking up flowers for the cafe. An extra set of eyes confirming tonight's special arrived so you can add it to the board. It's the promise of a good night's sleep, reassuring you everything is in its place and will still be there for whatever your job may be tomorrow.
Quarter, along with John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp, and you. Kason Kelly to punt. Blake Klossman was injured earlier in the game. Talented defensive back for the Mustangs and also their punter, so Kelly pressed into duty. Good punt here. Bounce at the 30 and roll out of bounds. And now Andy Means will look down the sidelines and get as many players in with a running clock here in the fourth quarter, up 44-7. Millard South hasn't been 3-0 since 2010. They won a title in 1995 and then in 2009 with Bronson Marsh as their quarterback. They have 3 phases taken care of. This is a really, really good team and should be a really, really good matchup next week. Millard South and Millard West here at Buell. Taquan Johnson now working on offense.
Gage Stenger in there at the quarterback spot. Rotating a lot of bodies in now are the Patriots.
Stenger is a sophomore. Backs up a junior. And Reggie Harris cannot find any running room in the backfield. Finally thrown down by Tommy Rowland.
There's a name we haven't really called tonight. It's Tommy Rowland. He had a pretty good game, all things considered. Our first time we saw them against Millard West, thought he was very involved up front, and he's really just been blocked out of this game tonight. That offensive line, that bunch for Millard South, I don't know, Gary. I mean, we're only 3 games in, and we haven't seen a lot of teams yet, but this is the best looking offensive line I think we've seen so far.
If you go back a couple of years ago when we had Millard South and Omaha West Side, Stenger chased out of the pocket. He's got lots of room to run before Gabriel Terry catches up to him, but not before the sophomore quarterback's got a first down scramble. A couple of years ago, Millard South got beat by West Side. And it did not look good for Millard South. They were struggling. Then that offseason, Andy Means kind of retooled a lot of things inside of his program. He sought the advice of Boyd Epley, who was the strength and conditioning guru around Nebraska football. Things turned around. Timeout on the field. 10 minutes to go in the game.
4, 3.
Tonight's Game Time defensive play of the game is brought to you by Cox Business Security. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Football's back, so it's time for a Hog Wild tailgate pack. Includes 2 racks of ribs, our slow smoked meats, your choice of sides, plus cookies and buns. Pick up a pack at a Hog Wild near you.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild custom catering for any size event. Check out our catering menu at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
44-7, Millard South leads Millard North. And we're back at it, first down and 10. Gage Stenger hands it off. Minimal gain. Reggie Harris on the carry. So you have Reggie Harris, Isaiah Harris, Gage Stenger, Zane Stenger.
Not hard to memorize names around here, I guess.
What a night for Isaiah Harris.
Oh. I'm telling you, Gary, that he's got to get some more attention. People are sleeping on Isaiah Harris. I think he's a legit, at least FCS level talent.
He had 1,544 yards rushing last year. Flagged down as Stenger finds Braden Sweet.
And I know this is one of my favorite points to hit, but this time in the game, when you're ahead, 44-7, clock's running, and you get these backups and younger guys in the game, this is program building. This is where you get better as a unit. This is, building the foundation for the future, and it's so important.
Well, and I go back before the break, talking about Andy Means after Herbolschleimer's freshman year.
Won 2 games.
That offseason, Andy Means really went up and down his program. And strong emphasis on strength and conditioning, and it turned things around. Harris has a lot of room to run here. And that man, Kaysen Kelly, is able to find him in the traffic, but not before. Stenger to Harris goes for 23.
This is just a well-designed screen play. Defense doesn't recognize it quick enough. He gets one good block downfield right there, coming back toward the play all the way out to the 49 and sets up 3rd and manageable now.
And we have a running clock here in the 4th quarter. Stenger keeps it. Now spring to the outside. He's got enough for a first down before he is thrown down on the boundary by Terry. And even going out of bounds, the clock continues to run.
Well, it's not something we have seen too often. Maybe we've never seen it, Gary, as a running clock against Millard North. We're just not accustomed to seeing them get handled the way they have been tonight.
Reggie Harris get on the carry. Both teams shuttling in players right and left.
And Kason Kelly's going to get a well-deserved rest now as he comes to the sideline. He's put in a shift.
He's had a great start to his senior year. He's a future Fighting Hawk from Grand Forks. He was actually recruited. He was at an Iowa football camp that was attended by North Dakota coaches. And they first saw him there and continued to follow him. Communication continued, and he was offered a scholarship and said yes, that he will play football in North Dakota, and then they will be a member of the Missouri Valley Football Conference next year that includes the defending national champion North Dakota State Bison and a top 3 team in South Dakota State. It is the best FCS football conference in America.
And a lot of guys out of that Mo Valley Conference are getting shots to play in the league too. I mean, look at all the players that have come out of North Dakota State, South Dakota State that are on NFL rosters now.
Stenger calling his own number, and he's able to pick up a first down on 3rd and 13. Not only have North Dakota State, South Dakota State, Youngstown State is in that league, Illinois State, Western Illinois, South Dakota, Indiana State, and then Northern Iowa, which is perennial top 15 FCS team. You see them in the playoffs nearly every single year. Mark Farley does a great job over in Cedar Falls.
One of our favorite players over the last 4 years out of Council Bluffs, Cam Baker. He's a Panther.
They're going to say that Stenger was just short. And Andy Means will go for it on 4th down. And he won't get it. Harris got eaten up by Hendrik DeBoer, junior defensive lineman. And on downs, Millard North will get the football. And Brandon Lundquist will come back into the game. Lundquist started the game at quarterback for Millard North. Weindell played the middle quarters. 44-7. Millard South with the lead. They've led throughout. Stay tuned at the end of the game. We'll have our defensive play of the game brought to you by Cox Business. And probably no surprise tonight, our player of the game brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Lundquist keeps it.
It's a big hit by the backup quarterback, Gage Stenger, coming up from the safety spot and delivering a blow on the sophomore quarterback.
Well, Stenger wants to get on the field. He knows that he's playing behind one of the best quarterbacks in the state who has another year. Show what you can do, not only as the backup, but as a possibility in the secondary. That was a pickup 4 by Lundquist.
Carried by 27, Andrew Bedner.
Andrew Bedner still in the game. His carry brings up 3rd down. Bedner played a lot of football last year. He worked his way through injuries. Not easy playing the position that he plays. You are involved in a lot of crashes during the course of a game. And this time he moves the pile enough for a first down. With 2.5 to go.
It's been a while since we've seen one of those Millard North fullbacks that's been up there in the rankings.
Well, we're talking about Missouri Valley football. Jake Matthew, who played that position as well as you could. He is playing linebacker at South Dakota.
He's probably the last one that was in the conversation to lead the state in rushing. Was Jacob Matthew.
Program that is produced also of late from North Dakota State, Nick DeLuca. Cannell out of the backfield. Zigs and zags. Tough sledding to find a yard.
With the reception, tackled by 50,
Never been a shortage of former Mustangs playing college football. Fred gets them ready.
He'll have to get his team ready after an 0-3 start. Take on Creighton Prep next week. Keyshawn Wright on an end-around toss.
That's the speed sweep, and if you've got an athlete back there catching that ball at full speed, can get to the corner. I mean, it's not a lot positive for a defense when you see that tailback hitting the corner at full speed.
Running clock. We've had a running clock since late in the third quarter. Now under a minute to go. Lundquist, a right-hander. The throw, now he's chased out of the pocket. Still looking downfield. Pump fakes. He made a wise decision. Got a good pickup of about 13 yards. Wendell is a southpaw. Lundquist a righty. Lundquist, until penalties came into play, led a couple of promising drives in that first quarter.
He's kind of slippery too. You see right there the little hot juke that he's got in him.
This should be the final play. Well, it will be the final play. Fumble picked up and finally covered by Millard South. And in a night where penalties and turnovers were an issue, that's how this game comes to an end. Millard South proves to 3-0 and another victory over their crosstown rival as Millard North drops to 0-3. We'll have our defensive play of the game and our player of the game. After this, the Patriots. They're one of the top teams in the state for a reason. You just saw it. 44-7 Millard South over Millard North. It's game time on YurView.
Shop Woodhouse first during the Ram Power Days event at Woodhouse Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Blair. Some of the hottest deals this fall on our all-new Ram inventory. With over 200 new Rams on the lot, we can help you find your perfect truck match and have you ready for anything that comes your way. Check out our whole new Ram lineup and offers at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com or come out and see us for a test drive just 15 miles outside of Omaha. Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
Another bad grade?
I miss little grades and the square root of her biggest problem.
I studied all week.
I miss poor study skills. I stress beyond her comprehension.
We can't keep having this conversation.
It's not like I want to fail.
When low grades follow you home, Huntington can help. Huntington Learning Center helps students of all ages build the skills, confidence, and motivation to improve grades and test scores through personalized attention and proven results. Keep low grades out. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN now.
Tonight's Game Time defensive play of the game is brought to you by Cox Business Security. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Final score tonight, Millard South improves to 3-0, 44-7 over Millard North. The Patriots 3-0 for the first time since 2010. We're joined by their head coach, Andy Means. Coach, your initial thoughts after a pretty thorough offensive and defensive performance once again for your team?
Well, I was pleased with the kids. They had a good week of practice, and they executed the game plan. And I liked the fact that they kept playing. You know, we got ahead, pretty quickly, and they didn't back down. We had too many penalties. We had turnovers, which we hadn't had the first two games. So we got to clean some things up. But I was proud of their effort. Their effort's been good all three games, and now it's on to Millard West.
Coach, the kind of start that Isaiah Harris has had to the season, I mean, what can you say about the way he has just torn through opposing defenses so far?
I'm glad he's on our team.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to defend him. He's a pretty special player, and he gives us kind of a 1-2 punch back there with he and TJ.
We'll get you out of here on this. A lot of your skill guys get attention, but we talked a lot about tonight, Andy. Your offensive line was really, really good. What makes them so good as a 5-some?
Well, first of all, they're very close with each other. They like each other. They've played together since they were like 5th grade on Little League teams. The defensive line, the offensive line are really, really strong for our team. And they had to be, especially the defensive line tonight because of Millard North's offense. But our offensive line got into them, moved the ball pretty well, and we're proud of them. They just got to keep on working hard and get better.
Andy, thanks for your time. Good luck next week against Millard West.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Patriot head coach Andy Means, 44-7. Millard South now 3-0. Millard North is 0-3. When you score 44 points, there's a lot of big plays. We finally narrowed it down to tonight's play of the game, which is brought to you by Cox Business. Always know what's going on with detection and surveillance products to protect your bottom line and help your business stay ahead of the unexpected. John, our play of the game.
Well, it's this one by TJ Urban. I mean, what can you say? Puts the hand down early on, and then look at the vision. Sets up the block, cuts it back. Then there's going to be a great juke right here at the end. Whoop! Just slips inside, walks it in from 60 yards out. Your play of the game belongs to the quarterback, TJ Urban.
Isaiah Harris over 100 yards. TJ Urban over 100 yards. Back with more from Buell Stadium after this. 44-7, Millard South over Millard North.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Check out the stories behind the games all season long. Visit YurView.com.
Smart is selling your home with FSBO Homes. The Home Transparency Report helped me sell my home faster and at a fair price. Buyers walked through my home online using the 3D virtual open house. So I had fewer private showings. And I accepted an offer with the tap of a finger. Let's make this sale official. All the service without the commission. It's the smart way to buy and sell a home.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
A state title. That guy right there. That's a big reason why tonight Isaiah Harris, a monster night. He is our player of the game. Brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. He kept our statistician, Frank Ryan, extremely busy with all of the big runs and the touchdowns.
And it started early on right there. That offensive line was opening holes for him, but he was reading it well too. And then when he gets on the other side of that line of scrimmage, he knows what to do with it. You see the numbers, 12 for 192, 4 touchdowns. That cutback right there was just sublime. He's so good. Once he breaks into the second level, Isaiah Harris is just something special. And tonight he's our player of the game.
12 carries, 192 yards as Millard South is now 3-0. First time since 2010. They got a big matchup next week, a top 4 matchup between the Patriots and the Wildcats of Millard West. We have seen both of those teams. Should be very interesting to see this rushing offense of Millard South against that stout Millard West defense. Big thanks to our entire crew here at Buell Stadium on Friday the 13th. For Millard South, it was good luck on Friday the 13th. For our crew, for our statistician Frank Ryan, for our director Katie Keating, for my partner John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Reminding you again of the final score. Millard South 44, Millard North 7. We'll see you next week at Bryan when the Bears play host to the Eagles from Central on the YurView Game of the Week. Good night, everybody.
Game time high school football action on YurView is presented by Iowa Western. The world is waiting. Connect online with Iowa Western at iwcc.edu or call 800-432-5852. High school football fans, for more behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, interviews, and more, be sure to check out yourview.com all fall long. State player of the game.
Change it up, okay? Catch him off guard. Get in the trench. Do what you do. To the 30, to the 20. Battling his way to the end zone. Nobody can stop him. Down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him.
Game Time High School Football is brought to you by Iowa Western. The world is waiting.